In recent years, the rapid increase and high adaptability of wild boars have caused significant disruption across rural Germany. These animals, known for their intelligence and aggressive behavior, have inflicted considerable damage to farmlands, disrupted the ecosystem, and posed threats to both people and livestock. In response, organized hunting efforts have been mobilized to help manage the population and restore balance to affected regions. The situation in the fields has reached a critical point. Hunting teams are actively deploying across impacted areas, aiming to prevent further destruction. In one operation, a team of marksmen arrived early and strategically surrounded a field suspected to be frequented by wild boars. Soon after, a wild boar was spotted charging across one of the hunters' lines of sight. A single, well-timed shot brought the animal down immediately, effectively stopping it from causing additional damage. The precision of the shot underscored the level of skill and preparation involved in these coordinated hunts. The encounter marked the beginning of a wider operation. At the field's edge, another marksman positioned in ambush identified a herd of wild boars foraging in the open. Acting quickly, he discharged several rounds. While only 2 animals were brought down, the remaining group fled the scene. Their location was promptly relayed to nearby units, enabling a broader sweep to begin. Elsewhere on the field, another boar attempting to flee through a dense thicket was intercepted. A single, accurate shot brought the animal down on the spot. The response was swift and decisive, highlighting the hunter's commitment to halting the spread of damage. Tracking continued as signs of remaining animals were picked up by trained hunting dogs. Responding to the alerts, the team quickly surrounded a rice field. Moments later, another wild boar emerged, attempting to escape. The response was immediate. A clean shot neutralized the threat, ensuring the area remained undisturbed. In the nearby forest, another encounter took place. Within 10 minutes of setting up an ambush, a wild boar entered the line of sight of a marksman. The shot was fired instantly as the animal became visible, ending the threat before it could retreat. At the same time, another team member stood poised in her ambush position. The moment the target appeared, a single, precise shot dropped the boar where it stood. Such actions are part of a broader effort to curb the growing impact of these animals on local agriculture and rural life. These efforts not only address the immediate threats posed by wild boars, but also contribute to the preservation of crops, the safety of residents, and the gradual recovery of the agricultural economy. The wild boar, though resourceful and quick to respond to danger, is not invincible when confronted by well-coordinated and experienced teams. Precision and caution are vital. Even seasoned hunters must remain vigilant, as a single misstep could prove costly. Every movement, every decision, must be calculated. The operations are marked by high-stakes ambushes, intense tracking, and sudden encounters, all requiring unwavering focus. In one operation led by a specialized team, a large field was secured. As the hunters scanned the terrain, a group of wild boars broke from formation at the field's edge, unaware of the traps awaiting them. A wave of gunfire followed, instantly bringing down several animals, while others fled in panic. But the pursuit was far from over. With the help of tracking signals, the team identified 2 wild boars hiding in thick vegetation. One of them was quickly dispatched with a precise shot. However, the second managed to escape amidst the chaos. At another location, a sniper stood guard, alerted by the barking of dogs that a boar was nearby. When the animal charged out, a swift shot blocked its escape route. In a sudden twist, the boar launched at the marksman. Responding instinctively, he fired at close range, successfully ending the threat. Such encounters highlight the dangers these situations can present, even for experienced personnel. Deeper in the forest, another team conducted a patient and thorough ambush. After 10 minutes of silent observation, a boar emerged from cover. Without hesitation, a well-placed shot concluded the mission. These hunting operations demonstrate not only the urgency of the situation, but also the level of discipline and coordination required. They serve as a reminder of the balance that must be maintained between wildlife and human activity, and the continued efforts necessary to protect agricultural livelihoods in regions facing similar challenges. In a swift and coordinated operation, a wild boar was immediately brought down, followed by the sound of a mortar impact. Elsewhere in the forest, additional targets were handled with similar precision. As a dense group of trees shifted slightly, dark figures emerged, prompting a flurry of rapid gunfire that left little room for escape. Within moments, the area was cleared, and the remaining animal, a wild boar, stood exposed and vulnerable, soon to be neutralized. At the forest's edge, another sharpshooter contributed to the team's efforts. With a single accurate shot, the animal's movement came to an end. During the winter season, when snow begins to fall, wild boars are forced to venture out in search of food. Their growing desperation often results in damage to farmlands and crops, putting pressure on local communities. In response, organized hunting teams are mobilized to help mitigate the impact of this destruction. What follows are scenes of strategic pursuits and carefully planned ambushes, showcasing the challenges and skills involved in managing wildlife populations. Early in the morning, a team of hunters traveled to the rugged hillsides of Tajikistan. Upon arrival, they quickly dispersed across the terrain to track down wild boars. Within minutes, a marksman using binoculars spotted a herd weaving through dense underbrush. Without delay, he targeted the largest animal and fired. The wild boar collapsed, its movement halted as it rolled down the hillside. This marked the beginning of the day's operation. As the search continued, another lone wild boar appeared on the distant ridge. Seizing the opportunity before it disappeared, another well-placed shot was fired, and the animal was swiftly and humanely neutralized. Elsewhere, another team member carefully observed through binoculars. A wild boar, almost indistinguishable from the dry foliage, was spotted. After positioning himself for the optimal angle, he took the shot. The animal was immediately immobilized, bringing stability back to another section of the forest. Simultaneously, in a snow-covered mountainous region, a different team had set up a perimeter. Upon identifying signs of wild boars returning to their shelter, 2 marksmen prepared for the encounter. Within moments, the lead boar appeared. A controlled round of gunfire followed, bringing the animal down, while the rest of the herd scattered. The team acted quickly, intercepting several more before the remainder vanished into the forest. At a forest clearing, an ambush had been carefully orchestrated. A wild boar suddenly darted from cover, prompting an immediate and accurate shot. The initial hit immobilized the animal, followed by a brief sequence of shots to ensure the threat was fully addressed. Elsewhere, in thick underbrush, another wild boar was located and carefully tracked. A decisive shot brought the situation under control. Each effort contributed to reducing the risk posed by these animals, whose destructive behavior can cause significant agricultural losses overnight, sometimes amounting to millions in damages. Faced with this escalating threat, dedicated hunting teams continued to follow their tracks, often into difficult terrain. The question remains, can they succeed in minimizing the impact? In the scenes that follow, viewers will witness suspenseful confrontations and intricate tactical maneuvers. On a densely covered hillside, a hunting unit quickly surrounded a known hotspot. A sharpshooter monitoring a key point identified a wild boar emerging from the brush. A swift series of shots followed, neutralizing the animal and setting the stage for further engagements. On the western slope, another observer scanned the ridge. Within minutes, a boar emerged through tall grass. With a well-calculated angle, the marksman acted, preventing the animal from returning to cover. The response was both precise and effective. Elsewhere, an unexpected close-range encounter unfolded. A team member, while tracking subtle signs, encountered a wild boar concealed beneath thick foliage. A rapid succession of shots ensured there was no time for the animal to flee. Moments later, coordinated fire from multiple directions confirmed that several other targets had also been dealt with, contributing to a safer landscape. In the remote thickets of Hungary, efforts were underway to stop the growing disturbance caused by wild boars. Upon arriving, hunters fanned out to follow the signs left behind. Soon, a group of wild boars was spotted, unaware of the approaching presence. At the opportune moment, 2 animals were brought down. Though one managed to escape, the team acted quickly to track its path and signal others for support.